the shows. Tomo take over.
Man, let me take over. Like my name ain't Ant. You know what I mean? Like that's what he did last night. He said 20 points. What's that? Y'all seen it? Y'all seen all the clips. This kid here, man. I don't know. He's just taking the title of the face of the NBA. Because every
Mm-hmm.
single clip from that game is now went viral. Even the one that we all seen go out where he's like, "What you talking about? Who you looking at?" He's just whatever. I know that my favorite one when he looked and said, "I'm about to get in my bag," and he turned up. But also the post game conference, where Cat had some words to say, man. They keep talking about a big three. Forget the big three. I don't know which voice he has, so I can't mimic it. But he said it's the big 15. Edwards leads the Wolves back from a 20-point deficit to win 98-90 over the Denver Nuggets, defending NBA champion
Mm.
Denver Nuggets, and to lead the Timberwolves back to the Western Conference for the first time since 2004. We can get into some of these clips here, but I really want us to react to the game first. So I'm gonna start with you, Joe. You out west. You said nobody cares about the Kings because it's the finals, but you out west, so you care about what's going on.
Man, the West is tough, man. So like I said, we got some work to do. But anyways, first of all, I'm looking at the camera and say I was completely wrong about the Denver Nuggets. I said this was Jokic's year, and it's not. Obviously, it's not his year. Jokic could not overcome what his team couldn't do. Like with the people I compare him to would usually do in that situation. All right, like I said Kobe, Jordan. Now I didn't compare him saying like he is like Kobe or like Jordan. I compare like he's on a run when no matter what goes on, no matter who's in his way, he's going to win this year because he's on a run. But I was wrong. I was wrong. So into the Minnesota Timberwolves, man, if y'all look at the playoffs, that's besides Indiana, because we're gonna talk about Indiana next topic, right? More. But besides Indiana, everybody in the playoffs, just like almost every year, are the top defensive teams in the NBA. So the Minnesota Timberwolves number one defense for 82 games. They played the Nuggets last year and they were missing players. They missed McDaniels and they also didn't have oh my God, 6 man of the year. All right, Nas Reed. So and he got hurt right before the playoffs too. So they came back and then Minnesota, like AJ always said, they said Minnesota was the toughest matchup for when they came back stronger, more motivated. They led by their superstar Anthony Edwards, And what I like about Anthony Edwards, it reminds me of Kobe in the NBA Finals versus the Celtics. All right, Kobe, he had an off game shooting wise, but guess what? He had 15 rebounds. He had something like that, like 14, 15 rebounds in that game 7. Anthony Edwards only had 4 points in that first half. But you know what he did defensively? That second half, Jamal Murray had over 20 that first half. Locked up Jamal Murray, put him in the car seat. He just too fast, too strong, too athletic for Jamal Murray. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. We're going to talk about the series next round. It's going to be an interesting matchup with that. But kudos to Karl-Anthony Towns too. I think I need everybody to give him a respect because people keep on disrespecting him every time he has an off game. He was the one that kept them afloat that whole game. He was the one. Like he was the one that was consistently good throughout that whole game. So I want to give Karl-Anthony Towns some props for that. And last thing I'm gonna say is this: at first I said I heard Teddy come in the chat and say something about Mike Malone, his interview, and I said I lost respect for it. I went to go listen to it myself, and I think it got blown out of proportion. All right, I went to go listen to it. Now he was frustrated in the beginning, and at first I was like, "Oh, huh?"
I got a clip.
Go ahead. Go and play the clip. Go ahead.
To absorb a loss like this after going ahead by 20.
Next question, man. The season's over. That's what's hard. Being up 20. The season's over. You don't understand that. The season's over. It's hard. Stupid questions.
Now, when I saw that, I was like, okay, Mike, that was wrong. And I disagree how he handled that situation. But after that interview, what Teddy mentioned in the interview when he talked about he's making excuses like they played through June, when I heard that, his whole point was like I don't think he's making excuses, more so like they just weren't ready. They played through June, and to be a dynasty, you got to be able to play through all that. That's how I look through it. Because he even gave the Minnesota Timberwolves a props before he made his comment because he knew everybody was going to take his excuse. But they played through June, all that stuff, and they just couldn't withstand that. They just couldn't withstand that. But that comment you just played, I totally disagree with that. You should never say that. Because that was a fair question. I mean, you down by 20. You're up by 20 in the second half, and you still lose at home, and you got the MVP. So, kudos to the Timberwolves.
It was what
Now,
9:30 some change, up 20
yeah,
in the third.
And they lost by double digits, right? If
No,
I'm
that
not
was
mistaken.
8.
Oh, like
It
8,
was a
sorry.
30-point swing at one point. They was down 10 late in the
yeah.
fourth.
And then with like 30 seconds left, they down like 7. They literally gave up, bro. I don't care what the score is, bro. You better foul.
Yeah, they
Anything
did.
that happens.
I
They
ain't
legit
understand that.
gave up.
I ain't
They
understand that
legit
method.
gave up.
Oh, I was explaining why I understood it.
Well, floor is yours.
I was just explaining why I understood it real quick. Mike Conley hits a fall away 3, tie ball game with defense, smothering defense in his face. And then you come down next possession and Rudy Gobert hits a fadeaway 18-footer with the shot clock going off. I came in the chat and said, yeah, this game is over. Once Rudy hit that, I said, this game's over. Rudy not missing free throws. Rudy hit that. I'm like, yeah, Minnesota can't miss. It's over. Jokic ain't hit a 3 until what, his 9th attempt, his 8th attempt?
Yeah,
Joe came in and said, like, he had 3 of them joints rim out. I was like, bro, it's just meant to be for the Timberwolves to win. But in all seriousness, shout out Minnesota. Y'all know I've been big on Denver this year. I picked Denver to win it all. I've been in the chats heckling AJ. Me and AJ been going back and forth. But all seriousness, Ant-Man did his thing second half. First half, I know a lot of people, including myself, I was confused on what Ant-Man was doing. It just looked like he wasn't aggressive. It looked like he was deferring. He was making stupid mistakes. I don't know what Ant-Man was doing. Yeah. And as a guy who wanted Denver to win, I was happy. But as a guy who wanted to see Ant-Man still do well in a Denver win, I was so confused. But second half, I don't know what it was. He hit the switch. He switched on to Jamal Murray. He is one of the guys where I saw defense lead to his offensive game. Mm-hmm. He got a couple steals in the open court, got a couple dunks within that. And when I seen him get those, it reminded me of Game 6. And what happened in Game 6 happened in Game 7. Minnesota got a turnover, got in transition, got some momentum with the dunk, took over, destroyed that 20-point lead. Now, Game 6, it was 9-2, and then they went on a 20-0 run. Became a 30-point swing off that. Jamal Murray couldn't get anything. The Nuggets went cold for 5-6 minutes, something along those lines. Couldn't buy a basket, and Minnesota took advantage. Also, another person I shouted out during the game, Jaden McDaniels. He was the main one consistent throughout the entire game. When nothing was going Denver's way, Jaden McDaniels would hit a 3 to lead a break. I remember Jaden or Cat hit like 5 points in a row, which is, it's just 2 baskets. So it makes it sound more than what it is. But y'all get the point. Hit 2 straight baskets, cut it from like 18 to 13 or 17 to 12. Jaden McDaniels and Cat will hit big shots to fend off a Nuggets run to make it out of reach. And so shout out to them. Naz Reid, he was big off the bench. Whenever Cat or Gobert were getting foul trouble, I think he did a really good job defensively. But yeah, man, the Timberwolves, they were just able, to some reason, come back. Defense, it shows, man. Defense wins championships. And yeah, that's my take, man. Shout out to the Timberwolves.
All right, so I'm sitting up here and I'm watching the Timberwolves go to the Western Conference Finals, and I'm watching the Mavs go to the Western Conference Finals. And I had to think back to an earlier episode, and I was like, why didn't I pick the Timberwolves to beat the Nuggets when I literally sat up here and said that I could see the Timberwolves making it out of the West? And then I was like, I know I said it on air. I know I did. And it's right here.
So I'll start.
Okay.
Stop. RBO told me something about the Minnesota Timberwolves that I really didn't think was going to actually come out and play, but shout out to Vaughn and Real Ballers Only. He said that big 3 that they got working there with the 3 centers and how they can maneuver the floor and stretch the floor. And Ant said that Jordan couldn't check them. I don't know if that's going to come back to bite him. But long as he ain't texting nobody, I think the Wolves can take this conference. The Nuggets are my second pick, but I think the Wolves can take the West.
Now, me being a 70% fan, of the Mavericks, I had to be like, man, that quote, man, the Dallas Mavericks, you're right. That quote may come back to hurt me, but I still sat back and was like, well, this team actually proved me right in a sense, because this is exactly the team they needed to beat, the Denver Nuggets. And going down 20, they were down 20.
They were down 20.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the Knicks and how they just got beat up. Man, I had a flashback. I'm sorry. And going down 20 and showing that resiliency in Denver and still trying to win this game has you been like, man, this young team is not supposed to be here right now. Everything about that game had me excited about the Timberwolves, even though I wanted the Nuggets to win. I don't understand how that happens. It's like if you betting money on a game and you just sitting there watching it. Like, I mean, I don't already lost my money now, so like, let's just have some fun. And then next thing you know, you said that 7, they cut it to 7, and the announcer says this dreadful thing. Yeah, it's the announcer's curse. He's like, the one thing you can't afford right here is for them to get a second chance point. And I forgot who. I think Mike Conley shot it at the bottom from the baseline, and the next thing you know, here come Cat with the dunk. Ball game. And the one person that put the nail in the coffin was Cat. Mm-hmm. Everybody rags on Cat all the time. Yep. And it didn't even look like Joker wanted to jump. I'm like, this is the one time you need to jump. Like, this is the game. Makes sense, but this is the game.
Ain't tired, bro. You know such thing as being tired.
No, I'm hip. Hip.
I get you, Carl. I'm just saying, like,
but that's it. That's it. And once he got the second chance point, I said, yeah, that's ball game. And now I got to sit up here and fight with my inner battle about, man, I said Minnesota could actually take the West, but I got my dark horse. Still going with the Mavericks. But shout out to the Denver Nuggets for showing you everything they could get. I did hear something else that was interesting too about it, how someone said they shouldn't have took the Lakers series that lightly, because this kind of like they slow walked into this next series and they didn't wake up till game 3. I ain't agree with it, but it did kind of make some sense. They kept letting the Lakers get them big leads and then fighting their way back.
I don't think they let the Lakers. This Nuggets just not as good as we all thought they were. You know, my thing was like Jokic. It was like Jokic going to do what it takes to get it done. I knew that the bench is not the same. Like Bruce Brown, I get it. He ain't no superstar. He ain't no, Malik Monk off the bench. You feel me? But he was a defensive guy who can also handle the ball when Jamal Murray was in the game. Now, with Reggie Jackson in the game, who's handling the ball, he's not the defender Bruce Brown is. You see what I'm saying? So it kind of took that away. Because if Bruce Brown was there, then he would be on Anthony Edwards or, one of these scores they got. So he was a big loss for them. He definitely was. And they was depleted. Like what was the other guy name? Your guy.
Christian Brown.
No, not Brown. Brown played well, but Brown, he's like he plays hard. No, the other do other bench. He be blocking shots.
Payne Watson.
Yeah, Payne Watson. When he's like offensively, he's not gonna bring you. He's defensive guy. But it's like these guys are one or the other. When Bruce Brown, he was effective on both sides of the ball. So that was a big loss.
Well, look, all I can say.
Drafted by the Pistons.
Oh my goodness, here we go. Well, I just want to play this clip and we're gonna go right into the IG chats because I tweeted this last night. Said shout out to the youth movement in the NBA and these guys right here. They just having fun, man. They don't care.
The voice.
Lose and lose big before you win. What is it about this team that says
we lost last year?
Yeah, but that's different. You have to lose at a bigger stage. Usually, teams
it's the playoffs. We lost last year.
We lost the last 2 years.
How much more we gotta lose?
Yeah, how much you want us to lose?
Been losing for 20 years.
Hey, bro. Well, you can sit up there and tell them like that, man. Look, we've been losing for 20 years. What you mean we gotta go through this process, man? And I got you, Joe. I edited that video for you. I knew you was gonna be like, nah, not today, Tomo.
20 years, man. 20 years.
Bro, he got.
I know he used a real voice, but that wasn't a good question, bro. They just lost last year to the same squad. What are you talking about? Like,
nah. The media, man.
And they lost to John Morant. No, they should have won that series. They definitely lost in the playoffs. All right,
the media is, man.
Let's get to the IG chats, man. Now, the first question with Mike Malone was a good one. That one wasn't good. All right, so look, y'all, we got an Instagram chat. So look, the